All right, so I'm gonna go to Home Depot and see if I can pick up some parts for this antenna off, or antenna build off. Okay, I'm at the Home Depot, There's a picture of it there. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right, just need a few things. I need a driveway marker. I'm not gonna buy one, but I'm gonna get the price for you because I already have like 10, 15 of them at home. I use a lot for different things, projects and stuff. I need some wire. I need about 5 feet of wire, but I probably have to buy 10. I need some kind of a piece of wood or something that's 1/2 inch square. I may have to make that, but I may have to pick something up here just so I do actually purchase something. Other than that, I think I have everything ready for this project. Let's go in the store. All right, I think they're right down here. These are 4 foot. Oh, they have 6 footers now. Wow, that's nice. I have to remember that. They don't usually have those. Let me find a price. I don't know if you guys can see that. $327. All right, let's look for some wire. I just thought of something. Speaker wire. I bet you they have speaker wire here. That'll be perfect. Let's see if we can find that. Oh shoot, here's wire right here. Let's see, 24 feet, 16 gauge, that's $7. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cut this. That might make it illegal for me, but $1.60 for a, looks like a 2 foot piece. That'll work. All right, kind of blew my budget there. That was not $1.40, it was $1.40 a foot, and I got 2 feet, so it was $3.40 was the total cost, or something like that. We'll make it work. All right, I literally forgot. I thought it was a month from today, but it's due today. I think I have all the parts, so let's see if we can get this thing built. And it's already, shoot, it's probably 1 o'clock already. I gotta get moving. Shoot, I thought I had another month for this contest. Oh well, here we go. Quickly built. Okay, I can't tell if this is in focus, but this is poplar. Poplar is really, really stable. Stays nice and straight most of the time. So a good choice for this, and it's fairly strong. And this is plenty strong enough for the antenna we're building today. Okay, looks like it goes in a perfect fit. I like it. Oh yeah, that's gonna work great. This is called Shoshugi Bon, I think is how they pronounce it. It's a Japanese way of sealing the wood. You just come in, give it a little, it gives a little nice little color. Sometimes it burns it more than I want to. It's actually the first time I've tried this. I don't know if you guys have ever used this stuff, but it's really, really good. It's Adi's oil. It's really all you need, but I'm not making this to leave outside, so, but it'll protect it when it is. So let me get some of this on there and see how it looks. It's just kind of like a wax. Maybe I should have put a little stain on it first. Put a little on the ends. That's where it usually gets it. Now, the contest thing is over, so I'm going to make a few more elements for this thing. Then we're going to test it. All right, so what I showed you so far was just what I went through the day I was trying to get all the parts for this thing and make it for the contest. The contest is over now, and as you can see, the antenna is sitting here behind me. What I'm going to do now is show you some of the things that I did when I built the antenna by putting the wires and everything on all the little parts that go on it. And I'm going to show you some of the printing and just everything else. And then we're going to put it on the meter, check it out, and see if we can get this thing tuned up. So let's go check it out. All right, so it was 1 o'clock. That's when I was looking at the clock here. So this will be the reflector. We're going to do that in black. And that needs to be 28.61. So we're going to do that 28 3/4 just for the heck of it. So there's 28. You guys can't see it, but I'm measuring it here on my board. 28 3/4. Okay, so there's the extra piece. So there it is. We need to strip this, and for now we're just going to put the wires together. So this is 18 gauge. We'll strip that much off. Okay. Strip a little more off here again. This stuff, you could strip it with your fingernails usually if you need to. If you're out in the field, that's what's kind of nice about it. Okay, so we're going to twist this really nice. So we're just going to twist these together first. I guess I'm going to have to show you guys what we're doing. So here we have it. We are making, let me go out just a little bit, give you guys a little better shot here. So what we're making is a cubical quad. You guys know that I've made this before. The piece of wood that we cut is going to be the boom, and it's long enough to do more than one, but it's also long enough to be handheld. So what we're going to do is feed this through these holes. Probably should have done that before. Well, it'll work. Okay. So the wire is actually going to end up holding this in. Okay, so we're just going to keep feeding through. I designed all this stuff up. It took me about, half an hour, I think, by the time I got it right. There it goes. Didn't want to go through. Okay, let's just bring the other one this way. Now they're just big enough to get this 18 gauge. Let me put this piece of wood in here. Unfortunately, it's a little tall. Maybe you guys can see it there though, okay? So that's all made to go in and against that wood like that. All right, let me just show you. This is going to be the driven, how the driven hooks up. So basically I have a wire from there and then a wire from to there. One of them will go to the center, one will go to the ground. Okay, that's that part. Now each of these have a hub, and the hub is made to, this is about a ½ inch. This isn't the right board, but it was shorter. And each of the hubs has a bolt hole on each side, so you can put a little set screw in it if you want to. And that'll keep it from moving. But we want it to move a little bit because we may have to adjust a little bit. So let's put that there. We'll put this into space. And then we took our red wire, and let me see what the red wire was supposed to be. Okay, the driven element is 27.9, so almost 28 inches. So we're just going to cut it 28 inches. It's 27.917. And he's at 432, so yeah, a little bit longer may not be too bad. So let's just make it 28. That'll be close enough, I think. And it looks like I can make at least 2 more. So I may add those later. All right, so that kind of showed you how I put things together. It's not a real great display of that. I'll show you a close-up of the finished product here later. But right now I'm going to take you into Tinkercad and show you some design changes I made after I started this project. I didn't like the way everything came out, and then I ended up buying new rods. I didn't have any extra ones. I thought I did, but when I bought the new rods, as usual, they make them smaller so they can make more money, and nothing fit. But I'll show you how I fixed that. So let me take you into Tinkercad. All right, this is Tinkercad, and this is where I design most of my stuff in. I've played around with Fusion 360, but I'm still learning that one. So this one here, as you see, that one I just highlighted, this is the newest version. When I first did this hole here was not here, and that made it difficult because all the arms had to be exactly the right length, and that was kind of a pain. Now I make them a little bit long, and it works a lot easier for making. You don't have to be super exact. You just have to get your wires spaced the right way. All right, so let's move that one to the side. Now this is what's actually on my antenna right now. This is where the B and C is. After doing this, and you find this when you design stuff, that basically you liked it when you drew it up, but it didn't work the way you wanted to. So to replace this one now, let me move it out of the way. The new one's going to be like this. Again, this one here, let me pull it up alongside here and put this one in the back. On this one, the pole ended right here. So I didn't, and again, that would make it more difficult to get the links right. So what I've done on the new one here now is, you look, it has a hole through it, and I've also angled this up the other direction. And what that does is it gets the BNC aimed where you hook it up back to the boom, which will make it easier to route the coax. Now these are the, I pretty much got this pretty much the way I want it the first time outside of the hole, because I moved some stuff. In Tinkercad, if you change things, you have to be careful that you didn't change something you didn't want to change, and it's either not there or it's the wrong size, and that's what happened the first time. But I got it redone up, and it fits pretty good. I put the holes in the sides here, and those basically make it to where I can set it to a certain spot, and that'll stay there. And these holes all go through, and the boom itself is the actual stopping point. So we'll put that back in the back. This is what I came up for putting it on a mast. Basically, my first one had the holes go through. I didn't like the way it printed. I think this was the one I got the hole wrong after I changed some stuff. But second try on this one, and it works really well. Now you'll see these, there's on a cubicle quad, when you turn it 90 degrees, it goes from vertical to horizontal or vice versa. And that's what these are for. One of these will do vertical, and then when you switch it 90 degrees to the other one, now you're horizontal. Horizontal is good for sideband. That's where I think this will be better, because repeaters around my house are pretty high up and pretty easy to hit with almost any antenna. The little vertical I'll show you in the video was perfectly good for most of those. Now, not everything went well because of the way that manufacturers change things. And like the plywood industry, used to be able to buy 1/2 inch and 3/4. Now it's in 16ths or 30 seconds, because by saving a 16th off of a piece of plywood, they save millions of dollars over the lifetime of building that stuff. So what I found out is the little markers, the driveway markers I was using, are thinner than they used to be. Just like everything else, you wouldn't know it by picking them up, but if you actually put a caliper on it, they are different. What happened, and I'll show this to you in the video someplace, I had to go buy some more. When I added more elements to the antenna, I end up buying more of the stakes. Well, come to find out, I had resized the old one, this one here, to fit the old stakes. I put the new ones in, and they wouldn't hold. So I came up with this little idea where this one, I resized it to fit the new ones, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to get any bigger. And then I put this little tab at the end here, and what it does is when it goes through, it raises the end up and puts some tension on it so it'll hold it in place. And all you really need it to do is it doesn't have to be super, super strong. It just has to hold them from folding in, and the wire actually will hold them to a point. But just to get your wire tension pretty good. I hope this was an easy way to show you guys all the parts. I'll also show you on the antenna itself, but this is just kind of the process I went through. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to fix a few things on these that I don't like and try to make them a little bit stronger. I figured out how to do some stuff that make things stronger, and it's easy to do in Fusion 360, but it's harder to do in Tinkercad. But I figured out a way of doing it, so I'm going to do that. The Cubical Quad antenna was developed by Clarence C. Moore, call sign W9LZX, a missionary engineer working at the radio station HCJB in Ecuador, primarily to address issues caused by high power transmission at high altitudes where the antenna was experiencing significant arcing due to the thin air. This was the Yagi antenna. Essentially, the antenna was melting under the high power load. Moore's invention, patented in 1951, was a unique design and utilized a 2-turn loop antenna, effectively creating a cubical quad, which solved the arcing problem and provided superior performance compared to the traditional antennas at the time. The design is now widely used by amateur radio enthusiasts and is often referred to as the cubical quad antenna. All right, let's do a scan of the band. Band goes from 420 to 450. That's a 70 centimeter band. So 420, we're at 1.8. 425, we are 1.4. Let's go to 430, 1.1. 435, 1.1. 440, 1.4. 445. Let's just like go all the way up to 446 is 1.7. And then 450, 1.7. So pretty good. Okay, for instance, the Bozo net Thursday nights for Northern California is 432, 100. So let's just see what that would be. This would be sideband. So 432. So about 1.0. So it'd be, it's a little high, but that's still it. This thing's so hard to adjust. 432. Well, it's about 1. Okay. Now the calling frequency is 446. So let's go back up there. So there's 430. There's 4. Just a little over. So about 1.7. Still under 2. And I would probably not even call there. And most of my bands are down around 440 area, which is 1.4. So not too shabby. Let me get a close-up of the build and show you guys that. All right, so here it is. The sun's messing with me right now. It's going in the clouds and out, so it's going to change some. But here is the mount in the middle here. Like I said, there was 2 of those. There's the other one there. So it would set like this, and this would be vertical. And then when it sets like this, that would be horizontal. And that's all by where this is. So down on this one or there. So that's how that goes. As you can see, I put screws, and I did offset these off back and forth. I kind of messed up on this one. I didn't get these two the same, unfortunately, but just to make sure that I didn't split the wood, because it is pretty thin. This is only about a 1/2 inch, and I used fairly heavy wire back here. I ran out of this, and this is just, they're just directors, and I think that's fine. This is 22, and I think this is 18, something like that, 16 or 18. And I did, let me show you what I did do. In the video, I had screws. So if you look right here, I went ahead and just straight soldered them. I could have come through and maybe put a little knot in the back, and I may redesign that on the new one. Remember, the new one's going to aim towards the boom that I showed you in the thing. And unfortunately, I had to use tape on these. I didn't change them because it takes a while to print these. My printer is not very fast in the first place, and some of these don't look that great because I was running these on a fast mode on my printer. My printer's really not set up for that, so it doesn't print as good as it should. I've got a new printer coming, so when I redo these, I'll probably reprint them everything. And this is only in PLA. It's not going to sit outside all the time, so it's probably fine. All right, pretty cool build, huh? Now, I did get it on the air. I don't have a whole lot of 70 centimeter action in my area. I did, though, one day hit a couple of my repeaters close. Nobody was on them, but I was able to open the repeaters. I was able to open it with a vertical also. Like I said earlier in the video, repeaters are fairly easy around here because they are up pretty high in the air. Where I think this antenna will really shine is like if you're doing single sideband and trying to get some distance. I think right there you'll see a huge difference because the gain on this thing should be somewhere around 10 dB, give or take. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure. So that would be really good. Now, in retrospect, I should have made a 2-meter one because I do have a lot of 2-meter stuff around here. And I do know that for a fact that if I go up on one of the SOTA, it's a drive-up SOTA, POTA area, but in the El Dorado National Forest, I know I can get a lot of contacts. I've done it in the past with my Yagi that I made. Now, I will take this thing up. My buddy Javi and I go up there at least once a year. For SOTA, it's only good for once a year, and that's what he likes to do. And I will take this with me. And I'm pretty sure I can get at least 4 contacts, even on 70. I may remodel everything for a 2-meter setup, and I might go with a little bigger center for the wood part. Maybe a 3/4 by 3/4 or 3/4 by 1.5 inches. That's really common. A lot of people may not be able to, and it's kind of dangerous to trim it down to 1/2 inch. There wasn't much left. I actually did nick not my finger, but my push stick a little bit, the last one I did. And I'd hate to see somebody get hurt. So I may remodel it for something easier to find at your local hardware store like Home Depot or something like that. What's really, really cool about 70 centimeters, the higher bands, is 6 elements in 24 inches. And I had just a little left over. I think that's like 6 or 8 feet to get 6 elements in 2 meters. It's almost, well, somewhere around there. I did look it up, and I want to say it was around 6 feet. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit all. That way you'll get all my future videos, especially if you like content like this. I'm going to build a bunch more antennas. I've been looking at my analytics and stuff for my channel, and that's what I do best at as far as views. And this will probably be my last video. Well, for 2024. This is like the end of the month. I won't have a chance to get another one out. I'm Chuck, KK6USY. Thank you for joining me today on Ham Radio Ventures 73 all, and hope to catch you guys on the airwaves. And maybe we'll catch you guys on a SOTA 70 centimeters if you're in California.